Here's a strange truth: people who look the most independent, the most put together, the ones who never ask for help, are secretly the loneliest. Psychology says they might not have any real close friends, not because they're unlikable, but because of something much deeper. Let me tell you a story. There's a person you probably know, maybe at school, maybe at work, who always sits alone at lunch but never looks bothered. They laugh, they talk, they function, but when the day ends, they go home to silence. No group chats lighting up, no one checking on them, no, "Did you get home safe?" Psychologists have a term for this: functional loneliness, people who seem okay, but live without meaningful relationships. The childhood blueprint. Many people who grow up without emotional safety quietly learn this lesson: depending on others is dangerous. Maybe they had unpredictable parents, maybe they had to raise themselves, maybe opening up once got them hurt. So they built a shield: self-reliance. Not the healthy kind, but the kind that whispers, "If I don't need anyone, no one can disappoint me." These people become adults who appear strong, but it's a strength born from fear, not confidence. The invisible wall. People without close friends almost always have one thing in common: they're hard to get close to. Not because they're cold, not because they don't care, but because closeness feels unfamiliar, unsafe even. They keep conversations surface level, they don't initiate hangouts, they avoid emotional vulnerability because it feels like walking into a room with no exit. Psychologists call this avoidant attachment, and it's one of the strongest predictors of social isolation in adults. The strong friend illusion. Here's the ironic twist: people without close friends often become the strong friend in every group. Reliable, helpful, calm, but they never let anyone return that support. Deep down, they've convinced themselves that their needs are a burden, so they give, and end up surrounded by people who like them, but don't really know them. This creates the worst kind of loneliness: being around people but feeling invisible. The fear of being truly seen. Psychologists say one of the core reasons some people have no close friends is this: they fear that if someone gets too close, they'll leave. So they sabotage the bond before it forms, cancel plans, keep secrets, stay busy, laugh off serious conversations, not because they don't want connection, but because connection feels like a risk they were never taught to take. The hopeful turn. Here's the part people rarely talk about: people without close friends aren't broken, they're just unpracticed. Closeness is a skill, vulnerability is a muscle, and trust grows slowly, but it does grow. If this sounds like you, here's something you need to hear: you don't need 100 friends, you don't need to become outgoing, you don't need to change your personality. You just need one safe connection, one person you allow a little closer than usual, just a small crack in the wall. Because once the light gets in, the loneliness doesn't stand a chance. If you want to break down the why behind how people behave, subscribe to the Human Circle for more psychology videos.